Watch out, it's the warning track.
Welcome back to the Warning Track. I'm your host, Clayton McMahon, and we're here to talk about a whole host of things that happened over the weekend. The closing situation is as frustrating as ever. That's probably what we'll spend a majority of today's show on. Some of it's kind of sorted itself out. I think others are just getting started and may never end. Thankfully, not too many injuries this weekend, but there are a few that we'll talk about. And yeah, like I said, we have season is in full swing at this point. Every team's played at least 3 games, some 4. I know the Tigers have only played 3. They had a Sunday off. We're recording this just before 8:30 on Monday, March 30th, 2026. Crazy, it's already almost April. The season is just flying by. And so, yeah, we'll get right into it. I kind of just want to recap my teams first off. I feel like I've seen around the 3 leagues I'm in, at least, offenses being a little slow. There's one team in this league who has Shea Langoliers and Chase DeLauder, so he's off to a fantastic start. But looking here, I mean, probably my best guy has been Ramon Laureano, who had a great series against the Tigers. One of my last picks, I think I got him in the 23rd round, so I will definitely take that. Home run, steal, good lineup. He was hitting in the bottom third of the order, but a bunch of good guys ahead of him that hopefully he'll be able to hit in. Michael Harris, the second, has had a really good start to the year, 4 for 11, home run, 3 ribbies. I've been able to get some steals, so I've only made 2 moves so far. I think I mentioned one of them on Friday when I dropped Matt Swanson, Cardinals reliever, and picked up Victor Vodnik, who went on to blow a save on Sunday. Like I said, we'll get into the closer stuff here more in a second. Who else? Marte, I guess, has been at least got me a home run. As you can see, the power has been lacking. Only 3 home runs so far. None from Devers, none from Soderstrom, none from Kurtz. Nick Kurtz had probably one of the weirdest stat lines I've ever seen on Saturday. He went 0 for 2. I assume 600 OBP. So he had 3 walks. 0 for 2 at 3 walks, 3 runs, and a stolen base. And you definitely don't think of him as much of a stolen base guy. William Contreras had a great first day and then kind of struggled after that. 1 for 3 ribbies on opening day. Like I said, Devers and Soderstrom haven't done much. Actually, Devers, funny enough, is the only person who has not gotten me, other than 3 hits, has not gotten me counting stats of any kind. The other move I made was actually just this morning. I dropped Moises Ballesteros, picked up David Hamilton. Based on from what we've seen from the Brewers so far, they are just really, really running. He did sit Sunday against a left-handed pitcher, but the first 2 games put up good walks as well. Also had 3 stolen bases, which outside of Jacob Marcy and Jose Ramirez, I don't really know if I'm going to have too much in the stolen base department, so it was really nice to pick him up, and hopefully that'll keep up. Because, let's see if we can find it here. I meant to pull it up sooner, but yeah. If you look at the stolen base leaders, so David Hamilton is leading the league in stolen bases right now at 3. But then you also have Joey Ortiz with 2, Garrett Mitchell with 2. I think there was somebody else. Let's just filter this by team. Yeah, even Yelich had 1. Brandon Lockridge, I don't know how much he's going to play, but he had 1. None from Terang yet, but I'm sure that number will definitely increase as the season goes on. So, and then in Yahoo, one of my teams. Now, the one thing I don't like about Yahoo is that their Week 1 matchups ended Sunday, so we're technically already into Week 2 matchups. And so, if your team gets off to a slow start in the Yahoo leagues, it could be bad. And thankfully, I tied in bats and stats, but then the splinter, I went 4-9-3, so not the best start, and that was partly due to the fact that no home runs. Literally, I would say nobody. I guess Juan Soto's been solid. 5 for 14, 3 ribbies, 400 on base percentage. Other than that, Rutschman's been okay, I guess. We've only played 2 games. Jacob Wilson's off to a slow start. Brent Rooker has done nothing. Willie Damas, nothing. Matt Olson, not really much. Altuve at least got me a stolen base. He's the only stolen base I have so far. So, yeah, this team hitting has been really, really rough. On the bright side, Ryan Helsley and Pete Fairbanks each have 2 saves apiece, and so kind of waiting a little bit on closers in this league ended up being pretty beneficial. Framber Valdez looked good. I watched a little bit of that game Friday night. Was doing his thing. Got a lot of weak ground ball contact, which is what you look for at him. Flaherty, not so much. 4 walks, not really the best. Joe Ryan pitched really well in his season debut. Gavin Williams was okay. At least got 7 strikeouts. Cole Reagan's not the best either. I gave up 3 homers. I didn't even see that. Oh, boy. So, yeah. It's only 1 week, but this team is not off to the best start in the world. This team's been a little better. It was nice to see a stolen base early from Agustin. Out of Lopez, who I also have in Hundo, got me one. Elliot of the Cruz with a homer, no stolen bases yet. Luis Robert has been insane so far to start the year. 1 homer, 5 RBIs, batting .455. He's been really good. I picked up Victor Scott. I have Chandler Simpson in this league, who sat open early game, Rays' first game of the season. So I figured, okay, Victor Scott basically can steal like Chandler Simpson can. Even though he's batting 9th in the lineup, he's at least playing every day. So made that swap. I think I had Cole Young in my lineup when he hit this homer, so that was nice. But yeah, still not really much. Austin Riley, at least batting 4 for 11, but not really many counting stats yet. So pitching in this league's been solid. Andres Munoz did have a rough outing, but that's fine. Devin Williams really hasn't even been in a save situation yet. Yeah, he entered in a tie. So Dylan Cease looked fantastic. Excuse me. Yeah, 12 Ks in less than 6 innings, 1.69 ERA. Sonny Gray, not the best start. Mackenzie Gore looks solid. So, yeah, I guess actually I'll have to go back to Hundo quickly because I forgot to mention him. Really excited to see Edward Cabrera and Parker Messick today. Hopefully they do well. Cade Horton continued where he left off last year. Mike Burrows had a really rough start. This is Astros debut. And then this was surprising. I actually meant to check this note why he pitched. Oh. Piggyback rule. I guess I missed that. So we'll be making a move after the show. And then this is the only league I'm in that has NA spots. And it's kind of nice in Yahoo. You don't have to. So say you have a full roster, but you have empty IL or NA spots. You can just pick them off the wire and then put them straight there instead of having to drop somebody like you would in ESPN. So I do like that about Yahoo. And so this morning I made a couple moves. Charlie Condon with the Rockies. And then Jonah Tong with the Mets. I feel like this year, at least compared to past years, there's not really a ton of like high-end prospects that are still in the minor leagues that you can pick up off the wire. Pretty much all of them either already made opening day rosters in the majors or like kind of Griffin people were drafting regardless. So, but I actually feel good about Tong, and who knows how the Mets rotation will play out as the season goes on. So. Feel good about that. Yeah, heading back to Hundo quick. I was definitely encouraged. So DeGrom, we'll wait. We'll just transition that quickly. But Sandy Alcantara pitched really well. 7 scoreless innings, 5 Ks, got the win. That is exactly what you saw kind of out of prime Sandy. So if he keeps that up, that'll be great. Aaron Nola was okay. He was fine. I actually need to move Hogan Harris. I've got so many relievers that there was one day I needed to take one out just to fit all my starters in. Yeah, I already mentioned Flaherty. Yeah, Mackenzie Gore's fine. Michael King dealt with a lot of walks, but I watched a little bit of that start. He looked mostly fine. 5 scoreless against the Tigers. Yeah, and then I have Chris Bubich today. Really excited for that. And Jacob DeGrom, who, like I said, will kind of transition into it. Like I said, thankfully not too many injuries this weekend. This was one of the few ones where He was scratched. This was maybe like, I don't know, 2-3 hours before the game was going to start. He was scratched from the start on Saturday due to neck stiffness. Thankfully, now this report from Sunday morning is that he was feeling much better. He remains optimistic he'll be able to make his first start of the season Tuesday or Wednesday. So obviously not ideal. I expressed my worries about DeGrom this season. I actually drafted him last year in one league, but he was going a little later than he was this year. Granted, the talent's there. Thankfully, it's not an arm issue. And so, I mean, if he's able to come back tomorrow or Wednesday, then I think it's just all systems go. So thankfully, it was nothing worse. The other news was Andrew Vaughn, the hamate bone spree, just continues to plague baseball. So he'll miss 4 to 6 weeks because of that. Happened opening day, I believe. Was it? Yeah, Thursday. So that's pretty much it. He probably was rostered in when did he get drafted? 26 rounds. Yeah, I mean, it was like a late round pick. So if you have IL spots, you can maybe stash them. Otherwise, I think you could drop them for somebody in the meantime. Getting into the closers. Can I search? No, I cannot. Or maybe we'll do this. This'll. Oh, I missed that. Sir Anthony blew a save, but I think he's going to keep that job. I mean, I don't really know who else they would throw in there. I guess we'll just continue to use ESPN. One thing I was very excited about, at least I feel confident that one of my closer speculations in Hundo went well because Clayton Beeter got the save Sunday against the Cubs through a perfect ninth inning. It was the first save opportunity of the year for the Nationals, so I feel pretty good about Beeter. Granted, the Nationals definitely aren't the best team, but I don't think they're going to be like White Sox or Rockies bad. So there should be at least a decent amount of save opportunities there, and hopefully they don't trade them at the deadline. Moving to the A's, this is far from finalized. Oh, that's right. ESPN is definitely not the best with their notes. Justin Sterner came in, I think it was he entered in the ninth of a 2-2 tie game, took the loss. Hogan Harris is still scoreless through 2 innings, so I feel most confident about him still, but I think this is one where it'll take a while to kind of sort itself out. Either way, I feel like the A's are going to be a solid team. Obviously, my offenses are littered with athletics players, but don't really know how that'll shape out. If I had to pick a guy, I would say Hogan Harris. Now, I mentioned earlier that I dropped Matt Swanson. This was after his first blow-up where he gave up 3 runs and only got 1 out. And then on Saturday, he decided to do the same thing. He gave up 3 runs again, this time over 2/3 of an inning. He came into the game on Saturday. He entered the 9th inning, but it was a 4-run lead. Like I said, he gave up 3 runs. And then Ryan Stanek, who we talked about on Friday's show, got the save Thursday for the Cardinals, came in again in relief of Swanson, but then he blew a save. He got the win. But I think that kind of just fuels the fire of what people are saying about Ryan Stanek, that nobody believes in him. Matt Swanson, I think, is most definitely out of the picture. This is one where I definitely feel good still about Riley O'Brien and Jojo Romero, who were the 2 names we saw, 2 names we saw at the end of last year. Same thing. I feel like the Cardinals is going to be a long time before that one plays out, if really at all. But I think you can definitely drop Swanson if you haven't already, and just focus on Riley O'Brien and Jojo Romero if they are available. I mentioned Victor Vodnik got the first save opportunity for the Rockies, and there will probably be a few of those this season, and he blew the save, gave up 2 runs on Sunday, so not ideal. For the Tigers, Kenley Jansen got the save on Friday. I think most people assumed and thought that Jansen would be the closer, but maybe for anybody who was speculating on Kyle Finnegan or If it was a really, really deep league, maybe Will Vest. This solidifies that Jansen has the job, and he looked good. So we're happy about that. And as a Tigers fan, this next guy, there's a lot of times over the years where there's been a lot of spring training hype and overreactions, and I feel like more often than not, it's usually smart to just ignore that noise. But this is one where I think it was pretty valid, and this is Carlos Estevez, who gave up 6 runs on Saturday against the Braves. Blew the save, took the loss, all that. He also had a comebacker hit him in his ankle, and X-rays were negative. He was seen wearing a walking boot after the game, or I guess it would be the day after. It was on Sunday, even though X-rays were negative. Despite that, there was also where was it? There was a report from Joel Goldberg of Bally Sports Kansas City, who added, where was it? He reported that the Royals manager, Matt Quatraro, said that he, quote, would be not averse to putting Estevez in a lower leverage situation. And in spring training, there were plenty of reports of Estevez. His fastball velocity was down like 5-6 miles an hour, which usually you'll see pitchers maybe 1 or 2 miles per hour under, especially early on in spring training as they work to build up. This is clearly not that, and so I think that was one where if you picked up, I know one of my leagues I speculated on Matt Strahm. I was not able to get Lucas Erceg in any leagues. And then sure enough, the very next day, a save situation comes up for the Royals, and they put in Erceg. So if you drafted Erceg, I think you're in the clear. I'd be surprised considering the velocity issues and then this insane blow-up literally the very first time he pitches this year. I don't think Estevez is getting that one. So if you play in a Roto League, I feel really bad for you. That's a terrible way to start off the year. Your ratio is going to be looking really rough in ERA for a while. Moving on to the Twins, staying in the AL Central. Cole Sands, who we talked about. I hope people took my advice on that one. Cole Sands converted the first save opportunity. I still don't think it would be completely bad if it's like a 15-teamer or it's like a very deep league to speculate on Taylor Rogers. But Cole Sands looked good, struck out 2. And I think it's safe to say that he's the guy. Granted, it's Twins, probably going to be one of the lowest win totals you see from a team this year, but still, closer's a closer. The Rays, I have no idea what's going on with the Rays here. And it hasn't helped that the 2 main candidates people expected have looked terrible. Griffin Jax has blown 2 saves already this year. On Saturday, he blew the save and took the loss. Gave up 2 runs, 1 earned. Blew the save also in the season opener on Thursday. Yeah, like I said, he has an 18 ERA. And then Clevenger, his second appearance was fine, but he gave up a ton of runs. Thursday. How many runs would that be? That's the only thing I don't think about Yahoo. He had a 54 ERA in 1/3 of an inning, so I'm trying to think. I think it's 3 runs. It's 18, 36, 54. Yeah, so he gave up 3 runs in his first appearance and then was fine, but also allowed 3 base runners on, what would that have been, Sunday. Yeah, so between those 2, who knows what's going on. I think it would maybe be smart to speculate on Brian Baker and then maybe even Edwin Uceta if you have like an IL spot or don't mind stashing him on your bench for a little bit. Either way, the Rays are going to Ray, and so that was a really rough start to the year if you speculated on Griffin Jax, because I feel like his ADP was definitely rising the last couple weeks of draft season, especially following the Uceta injury. And then the last one, the Rangers situation, Robert Garcia, he did not have a blown save, but really struggled Saturday. Didn't even finish the ninth inning, and then Chris Martin came in, who did blow the save, but then got the win. If I remember correctly, the note said Chris Martin. So, yeah, he did not give up a run, but so with the Rangers up 3-0, manager Skip Schumacher called on Robert Garcia, and then, recorded his 2 outs, gave a couple runners, and then Martin came in to protect the 3-0 lead and surrendered 2 hits and 3 runs, 2 of which were charged to Garcia. And then I think there was an error. This one was a combined. I swore I saw something about an error. Either way, he didn't give up any earned runs, but was not really the ideal start for either Garcia nor Martin. So I think you'll still have to see a kind of a true committee here. At least there's only 2 names. It's not ideal, but if you have one or the other, I think they're going to be viable in some way. And then if one of them gets hurt, obviously the other will be looking really good. So that's pretty much it. Like I said, I think really the only closer situations that really solidified themselves were the Nationals with Clayton Beeter. I would say the Twins mostly with Cole Sands. And then I guess you could throw in the Royals, even though, I don't know, other than just people not believing in Estevez, it wasn't really like there was necessarily a committee coming into the season. So a couple down, a couple more to go, and then I'm sure there will be plenty of others. That'll be weird as the season goes on. But that's pretty much all the time we have for today, so I appreciate you joining another episode of The Warning Track. Like I said, we're full in the season now, so considering we do this show or try to every weekday, unlike First and 15, maybe we'll try to get more into like streaming, start sits, to start pitchers for like weekly or daily lineups, like throughout weekly matchups. We'll see, because I record these in the morning with the air at night, so wouldn't be necessarily the most up-to-date information. So we'll see how it goes. But if nothing else, we'll follow these closer situations early on in the season, see how they play out. Hopefully we'll have Ethan on tomorrow. Like I said, he wants to try to make an appearance at least once every week. And so kind of get his thoughts. I really haven't looked at his team, but why don't we – yeah, we got time. Why don't we look at his team quick? Switching over to monitor. So – Bruce Lewis with 2 homers and a steal. Okay. Ellie with the homer. Dominic Canzone. I think he picked up Canzone. Yeah, he did. Yeah, other than that, Lawrence Butler's already sat 5 times. Some people think that might be the A's just kind of easing him in after he was dealing with the injury in spring training. Either way, not really super ideal. Corbin Carroll, so Josh Naylor 0 for 15 to start the year. Ouch. What's his pitching been like? Yeah, Yamamoto was good. Logan Gilbert was okay. 2 saves from Evan Diaz. Yeah, nothing from Munoz yet. Seth Lugo, was pretty good. Rough start from Billy Ober. Michael Wacha was good. Ronaldo Lopez was good. That's funny. I was listening to the CBS Fantasy podcast this morning, and I think they mentioned like this guy, literally Wacha, Lopez, and Lugo all together as like potential streamers, and Ethan was already on it. He's got all of them. So, like I said, that's pretty much it for today. I appreciate you guys tuning in to another episode, and we'll keep it rolling. And until next time, we'll see you then.
Watch out, it's the Warning Track.